My name's Derek Peterson. I'm a professor of history at the University of Michigan in the United States, and I'm connected with Makerere University here in Kampala. I'm one of the curators of the exhibition that's about to open today. The lead curator is my colleague Daudi Ngendo Chimba, and we're working with colleagues from Makerere and from Rubaga African Catholic professionals and from a number of other organizations to bring this exhibition to life. The exhibition's titled God and Caesar. It's meant to highlight the 60th anniversary of the canonization of the Uganda Martyrs, who were the first black saints of modern times, canonized by the Church in 1964 during Vatican II, which was an important conference of the Church that opened the Church up to non-Western, non-Italian cultures and languages. So the exhibition features pictures, photographs, that is, from the canonization ceremony. It features also archival material that we've recovered from Vatican-based archives and put on show here. And it features relics that have recently come back from Italy, thanks to Father Nyombi, who is a member of the White Fathers, and who's very kindly arranged for these objects to be returned here to Kampala for this exhibition. The relics include the remains of Koroli Luanga, who was among the martyrs murdered in those days. They feature also the jawbone of Matthias Mulumba. These are the two first order relics, as they're called, which are the physical remains of these two saints. The remains were recovered shortly after the two martyrs were killed. Mulumba was incinerated and dismembered. Luanga was burned. His bones were recovered by faithful Catholics shortly after their murders, brought to missionaries at their base where they then were. The relics were buried in a metal box. The metal box was lost when their church was destroyed. After a lot of trouble, the box was recovered. Almost miraculously, it had been buried in the ground. The ground had returned to bush, and for a time, no one knew where the relics of the Uganda martyrs were located. Happily, they were found, sent to Tanganyika, German East Africa, in the 1890s, and then returned to Uganda. The relics that we've brought back were used in the 1940s to establish the miraculous powers of the Uganda martyrs. One of the conditions of becoming a saint in the Catholic Church is that the relics of the martyr is meant to have a sort of healing property about it. So the relics we've brought back were used as evidence to show that the martyrs' remains were efficacious in healing. They were used to heal two Catholic nuns who had been afflicted with a disease. In 1942, they slept with the relics and were healed miraculously through the martyrs' intercession. So thereafter, they've been kept in Italy, in the headquarters of the White Fathers, or the Missionaries of Africa, as they're now called. And thankfully, the Missionaries of Africa have agreed to bring them back here to Uganda for the first time now since the 1940s. So we're talking about a very long time they've been out of this country. So I'd encourage Ugandans, regardless of whether you're Catholics, regardless of whether you're Anglicans, if you're Muslims, you'll find material here with which to be inspired. We need heroes, we need martyrs in our lives. Their death, in some sense, charts out the distance between where we are now. So you're all very welcome to come to this exhibition. It's open until late October this year at Uganda Martyrs University in Rubaga, just downhill from the cathedral.
Abacholizi betutenda